Welcome back, everyone, to the second episode of the 4-Point Play podcast. I would just like to take a moment to thank all of you for the support that you've given our very first episode. The video currently has over 180 views, which is pretty damn remarkable.
And counting.
Yep. Yeah. I would also like to welcome the fourth and most important member of our crew, Stephen Aaron. Everyone, a round of applause, please.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Woo.
So we're going to start off this episode by providing some recent game recaps and breakdowns, followed by some upcoming predictions. And then finally, to close it off, we're going to give our thoughts on a few topics currently around the league right now. But to start off, Stephen would like to say a little bit something to honor a special player. Stephen, the floor is yours.
So I'd like to say congratulations to Landry Shamet on being named our first ever member of the 4-Point-Play Club.
Woo! Let's go.
Yes, Landry.
Just a round of applause.
First of many.
Hopefully. Landry Shamet got a chase down block, and on the other end, capitalized on an ecstatic 4-point play.
What a
So
goat.
kudos to you,
That's
Mr.
beautiful.
Shamet.
Welcome, Landry. Welcome. Hopefully you are listening.
Yeah.
All
To our
right.
many viewers.
So now we're
He's
going to
one
go
of
into some big game recaps from last night. First up is the Knicks versus the Celtics at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, so this was actually overall a pretty good game. It was back and forth. Knicks started with a 13-4 lead. They ended up losing by 14 because they're the Knicks. It was 113-99.
That's how we
Celtics had
like
like a 20. They had like a 23 or 24-7 run late in the first quarter, and they never looked back.
Damn.
Kyrie had his way. He had 23. Marcus Morris quietly had a really good game too. But it was a fast-paced game. It was entertaining. It was good to see Kevin Knox. He had 21. He looked really aggressive. Wasn't afraid to shoot, and I think he's going to do even better with because of floor spacing purposes. Now with Dennis Smith and Wesley Matthews, he's going to get a lot more looks.
I'd just like to add that he's averaging 19 over the last 3 games.
He
Give it up for
is.
Kevin Knox.
Yes, Kevin finally coming into his own.
Hey.
Fingers crossed. Damian Dotson actually had a good game too. He had 22. He was hitting from 3, especially from the right corner. And this is now 5 straight games. The Knicks can't even reach 100 points, which is pathetic in today's
Wow.
NBA.
Zion.
I actually didn't know that.
Zion.
Tank for Zion.
Zion.
And
Zion.
that's also their 12th straight loss, which is also miraculous.
Zion.
Zion.
Only the Knicks.
But yeah, I think they're going to be a lot more competitive with the new guys coming in. They're going to be a lot more fun to watch. So that's nice.
Do you think that with Dennis Smith Jr. and DeAndre Jordan, they're going to get more wins?
They'll get more wins, but they'll still have one of the worst records.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, on to James with Houston at Denver Nuggets yesterday in the Mile High City.
Denver actually edged it out against Houston, 136-122. Really wasn't that close of a game after about midway through the second quarter, which is understandable because Houston doesn't really have a lot of depth. So Harden barely kept his 30-point streak alive with a 30-point outing on surprisingly decent shooting numbers for him. 42% overall, 50% from 3. But he had 5 turnovers, which is
And he was fouled in the making of this podcast.
It's punching the air right now.
Yep. So just to break down, that 30 points or more is about 15 on him and 15 from the refs. So the refs actually had a pretty decent game. The refs are averaging almost 20 points a game during his 30-point stretch, which is pretty solid. So moving on to the winning team, the Nuggets. Nikola Jokic, the most beautiful man in the Basketball Association. Added to his MVP campaign with a very good near triple-double, 31 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, becoming, PR told me to say, the ugliest player to ever reach that stat line. I'm going to have to fact-check that. I don't really know what the power rankings are on the cute scale. I know Kelly Oubre's up there.
Whoa.
But you got a
Tony
problem with
Snell.
that? Thon McCurr seems to never age.
Dwight Howard.
Dwight. No, Dwight Howard made
Kelly
the,
Oubre.
Dwight made the rankings. Okay. So moving on to basketball, Malik Beasley showed out with 35 efficient points, 71% on the
monster.
field. James Harden could only dream of reaching that percentage. Also, it is the Mile High City, so they got to have some Mile High dunks. Malik
Ooh, that was
Beasley,
nice.
That was a
Oh,
good one.
okay.
yeah, working on my craft. So for the Nuggets, kind of a 1-2 dunking threat.
1-2 punchy.
Well, they do punch at home. Craig and Beasley pretty much
Oh,
put on a
that
dunk
was-
contest.
We're probably gonna have to cut that.
They punch it home,
Yeah.
but it's true.
So
Okay.
Nuggets.
Yeah, still the Nuggets. Well, actually, moving on to a nice little interesting fact. With Kenneth Fareed, who probably half the people who watch this podcast don't even know that he's on the Rockets right now. He dropped 23 and 6, which is, you
Good
seem
for him.
we haven't heard of Fareed in a million years, but guess what? He's averaging 16.5 points and 9.2 rebounds with Houston since they
Good for
picked him up. Really good for him. One of for me, the best feel-good stories in the NBA this season. Definitely one of the most underappreciated stories because no one's really talking about him, but I think all of us could say that like it was pretty cool to see him leading or being one of the pieces with the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back I think in 2012 when they had the top seed in the West. It was definitely early on this decade, but definitely great to see, and it's great to see him start to show out again. So gonna move on, kick it off to Steven.
Let's just show some appreciation for the Nuggets. Honestly, like they are being, other than Jokic, carried by Monte Morris and Malik Beasley. That is awesome.
That's true.
Like it doesn't matter who's on the court for them; they just win. They play
Still the
great.
same
I just
record as
think-
the Warriors.
Yep.
They are tied for first,
And-
35 and 16, I think.
36.
36.
Really, the number one thing getting in their way is themselves because it's hard for them to field their starting lineup.
They have too many not good players.
Yeah.
Like what if Isaiah Thomas comes back and Jamal Murray is gonna come back
Well,
sooner or later?
And I'm just saying because so many of their players are hurt. Murray, Harris was hurt. Michael Porter
Porter
Jr.
Jr., he's probably
hasn't
not
even.
coming back.
Michael Porter Jr. haven't
He's
even
not
played
coming
this
back.
season. No one's talking about him.
Barnes coming off injury.
Paul Millsap
He's
was
played well,
injured
too.
for a while. He was
They
on my
got a lot of,
fantasy
like,
team.
They're not like seen as a really athletic team, but like they got some high flyers. Like not
They
just
have very good chemistry.
like just other than Craig and Beasley, Barton's getting up for a lot.
But
Nikola Jokic is going up for a lot.
Jokic, the most athletic center in the league, definitely.
Isaiah Thomas is not going to be the Isaiah Thomas of the Celtics. He's probably going to resort to being like a 6th or 7th man off the bench.
Well, yeah,
so
that's
you
where he
can't
belongs.
really,
Which
Michael
I'm
Porter
fine
Jr.
with.
definitely has potential to be an all-star. That I would get excited about, but Isaiah Thomas is pretty much done, I would say.
Yeah.
Imagine Murray, Harris, Michael Porter Jr. and Jokic. All
That
in
would be
prime.
nice. That would be nice.
Jesus. We're seeing it soon. Mark
I mean,
my
Michael
words.
Porter Jr. does become like a 92 in 2K16, a rebuild.
Oh wow, Sam.
So now let's kick it off to Steven for the OKC
Yes.
versus Miami.
Yes, so the Thunder got the win against the Heat. Not much of a surprise, 118-102. So Paul George had a monster night as he dropped 43 points on an astounding 60% from the field.
So good. He's so
Yeah,
good.
yeah. And a whopping 63% from three, along with 7 boards and 5 assists.
Wow.
Yeah, quite nice. So Paul
Fuego.
George has definitely been having the best season of his career. He's averaging almost 28 points per game. He's averaging 8 rebounds a game and 4 assists per game. So it's glad to see that after his horrific injury that he suffered with the Pacers,
Correct me
that
if
he was
I'm
able to
wrong,
come back.
but
What did you say?
those stats are all career highs for him. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think they
Yes,
all are, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
He's third in my MVP.
Other
race.
than
He's number
assists,
3 in my
but
race.
Not that much.
He's right behind Harden and Giannis for me.
Yeah, it's really great to see.
It's hard to disagree with that.
I mean,
So,
it's very debatable, but like
Yeah,
the
of
impact he's had for them and how big he's been for them, and he's hit so many clutch shots for them. I don't know. He's just stood out.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get that. So Russell Westbrook, he got his 18th triple-double of the season with 14 points, 12 rebounds, and 14 assists. So he's averaging another triple-double on the season, but it does not seem as outstanding as he did for the first time, but still, nonetheless, very impressive. Dennis Schroeder had a solid 28 points on 85% shooting.
85?
You thought Paul George's percentage was good? Dennis Schroeder.
I love Dennis Schroeder.
That is lava right there.
He's a
Wait, you know he's like a really good soccer player.
Really?
I swear, yeah. I remember there was a video of juggling the ball, like doing all that stuff, and then he like from 3 hit it into the hoop, like kicked it in.
Sam, he's
You
going to
see him
be
and Steve Nash playing soccer together.
he's going to be Chelsea's 43rd lone player of the year.
Should be.
I don't even know what
soccer
that
joke.
means, but
Yeah, no one's going to understand that.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, soccer. Anyways,
Football.
Kelly Olynyk, he had 21 points on 66% shooting and 7 rebounds. Very high field goal shooting game. But that'll probably be Kelly Olynyk's only shout out on 4-Point-Play podcast.
Ever?
Good.
That's gross.
Probably.
We just shouted his hair real quick.
I would just like to, we are speaking of the Miami Heat, and the only Miami Heat fan in Manalapan, Ryan Schreiber. Just like to give him a little shout out. He's not going to like this next point that Steven is about to make, but I digress. Steven, please continue for Ryan Schreiber.
So the only players for the Heat that had a positive plus-minus were Wayne Ellington and Rodney Magruder, who played only a combined 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
All right. So
Schreiber,
it's
you
simple.
hear
So
that?
it's simple.
8.
Put those two on the court for a combined 96. It's not that.
Yeah. 96 minutes.
Combined 90. No, combined from 96. Yeah.
We gotta get
Yeah,
Schreiber on the
Schreiber.
podcast.
Schreiber, you should message the Heat GM, who I don't know the name of, and
Who?
you should complain.
Yeah. You know what? I will do exactly that, Sam. All right. Now for some upcoming predictions on tomorrow's game. It's going to be Super Bowl Sunday, so there are only going to be 3 games at 1, 2, 3 o'clock. First up, we have Oklahoma City at Boston Celtics. So personally, I feel like the Celtics have this one in the bag, very narrowly, but I feel like they're gonna edge this one out. I mean, yeah, the Thunder have Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Steven Adams. But, I mean, I feel like Kyrie's just going to go off like he always does. And I feel like Celtics are going to very narrowly scrape by with this win.
There's something to be said for that. Can't really discount either team. Thunder at 33-18. Celtics at 33-19. It could go either way. But personally, for me, I think the Thunder will get the nod. Just a gut feeling. But I can see it going either way.
I got the Thunder taking it. I wouldn't say easily, but I think they won't struggle at all. They've won 7 straight. They're playing their best basketball of the year. Like I said, Paul George is right up there in the MVP race. Well, if Harden and Giannis weren't really as good as they are. But I think him and Westbrook are right now easily the best 1-2 punch in the league. And I think they're just going to continue playing the way they are, even against a great Celtics team.
Mm-hmm. I would have to agree with Sam and Steven right there.
Hey.
Obviously,
I'm out number 3-1.
I mean, like what Steven said, you can't count out either team. Both of them have near identical records.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I trust the Thunder more to pull it out because the Celtics, they haven't really proven this season that they could really work together consistently. But I really hope Gordon Hayward goes off because I feel bad. It's taking.
Yeah.
It's.
I dropped him off my fantasy team. Like that's what it got to me.
Dude, I don't blame you.
I mean,
I have him on
I
my
have
watch
all the
list.
respect
He
in the
hasn't
world for
been doing
Gordon
it.
Hayward, but he's just not the same.
Yeah.
Like I just keep expecting him just 1 week just to break out of his shell and to start averaging 20 again, but it just seems like every step he takes forward, he just takes another step back the next game.
Yeah. Before we move on to the next game, I'd just like to mention that we are going to be counting tallies of whoever gets the most game predictions correct. For each day, for each episode, we're going to be doing 3 games, and whoever gets the most predictions will win something, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'd like to take another moment to shout out our Twitter, which is at 4PPlay. Please
4
give
as
us
in
a
the
follow.
number 4, not
Yes,
don't spell out.
yes. Also, our YouTube channel, which is obviously we're going to be watching this, 4-Point-Play. Please give us a subscribe. Like would be appreciated as well. So next up,
Thank you.
Clippers at Raptors. Personally, I feel like the Toronto Raptors are going to pull this one out. Clippers have been one of the hottest teams of the season for the past couple of months. Gallinari, Tobias Harris, they've been going off. But Raptors got Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Lowry, just outmatched them.
Harris got
Raptors have
snubbed
this one.
from the All-Star team.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Just
I
wanna
don't
throw
think
that
this
out.
is really going to be that much of a competition. I think the 37-16 Raptors basically have this game locked up against the 20-24 Clippers.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game. Clippers don't really get blown out, but the Raptors have this game. It's just more talented.
Again, I seem to agree with what most people have been saying, or what all of you guys have been saying for this game. The Raptors are just they're just too good. The Clippers, just like Sam said, are probably going to keep it to a close game, but I just really can't see them pulling it off. It's going to be tough.
Especially with Danilo Gallinari out, I don't think. they
And the
really have
Raptors
much
at
of a
home.
chance.
Gallo. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The final game for tomorrow.
And most
game.
important,
Most
Yes.
important one. That is correct. That is not a lie.
Has strong
Memphis
playoff
Grizzlies.
implications.
All right,
Oh, of
James.
course.
Let's not. Okay. Memphis Grizzlies at New York Knicks in the most famous arena in the entire world. Personally, I am a Knicks fan, so I'll predict that the Knicks pull out with a narrow win tomorrow, perhaps in overtime, maybe end of regulation. Grizzlies are 14th in the conference. Knicks are 15th in the conference, so very elite play going on in the game. But
Two teams
as
that
I
have
said,
trouble hitting 100 points.
exactly. I feel like the Knicks have this one in the bag.
So
bad.
yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with Matt that the Knicks will get the win over the Grizzlies, who are 2-19 since December 26th.
Jeez.
Pretty good.
Not too stellar, and
Pretty
the
good.
Knicks will debut their new additions. So I think that'll be a good start for them, and they'll get the nod over the Grizzlies.
But how are the Knicks since December 26th? Probably the same.
Not very good either. Not very good.
That's a good question.
On a
they've
current
lost-
what?
They've lost 12 straight.
Well-
Yeah.
We don't really need to say that part. But
So Sam, your prediction?
I think it's gonna be a very close game, but I'm gonna edge it to the Knicks. First of all, they're home. Second of all, Mike Conley still has a knee injury. He might not play. Kyle Anderson is still out. It's just a team that it's not very healthy right now. Garrett Temple's not going to be playing. Jaren Jackson is probably going to play, but he's still not 100%. It's just a team that's not healthy. So I think the Knicks are just going to edge it out.
Yep. So like the last two games, I'm gonna have to agree and say that the Knicks are gonna edge it out.
We all pick.
Same
We're so
facts.
biased.
I
We're
just-
actually so biased.
It's not even that, okay? Like what I said on the first episode. The
We
Knicks
don't even
got
want the Knicks to
three
win.
starters, 3 proven starters in this league. The Grizzlies.
What do you mean? You don't think Kadeem Allen's a proven starter? Like, I really haven't heard of him until like last week, and he started yesterday.
I haven't heard of him since 10 seconds ago, but the Grizzlies are just terrible. The Knicks are just terrible. But
it's gonna be a dogfight.
yeah, unless the Knicks buy out Wesley Matthews and DeAndre Jordan, I could see them winning a couple games.
They'll be better.
Maybe getting
but, they're
15
not
wins
gonna
on
be
the
good.
year. I don't know. Maybe they'll say, you know what? We don't want Zion. We'll win a couple games. But
Speaking.
I think.
All right. Speaking of the New York Knicks,
yes.
like what we
Kyrie
usually do.
Irving, Kevin Durant, Knicks rumors. What do you make of it? Legit?
I'll
not
believe it when I
legit?
see it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the
I mean-
Knicks. I'll believe it when I see it.
It's basically taking a shot in the dark at this point. There's really no way of knowing what's actually going to happen. But Knicks fans should just cross their fingers and hope for the best in free agency as of now.
So, per ESPN's Tim Bontemps a few days ago,
Mr. Buntips.
Never heard of this guy in my life. He says that rival teams and their executives expect Kevin Durant to join the New York Knicks if, and I cannot stress enough the fact of this if he chooses to leave the Golden State Warriors.
I mean, if he stays with the Warriors, they're not getting Clay back, so then they go after Clay, I'd assume.
Yeah.
In that case, but I
think
think they'd keep Clay over.
Okay, this opportunity that the Knicks have to get Kyrie and KD, I feel like it's just too good to be true. Like, I want to believe it's so bad, but the fact that it slightly makes sense for both players and that it could happen makes me not believe that's going to happen, because the Knicks,
It's a bit of a long shot.
the Knicks for the past this whole century, it's like the boy who cried wolf, you know? Every couple years, the Knicks revamp the roster, they do some nice,
Yeah, they haven't signed a top free agent to a deal since Amari Stoudemire.
You know what stat?
Because Melo was traded and then they ended up re-signing
You
him.
know what stat I figured out today? The Knicks have
What?
not re-signed like their draft pick from their rookie deal in, I think, 18 years.
No way.
Which
you
is
serious?
ridiculous.
That just sounds. Oof.
It is true.
It's pretty
Which
good.
is insane. And if you told me literally a week ago, hey James, is that stat gonna end? I would say yeah. KP, why would he leave this team? He's on board.
We couldn't even get KP.
We couldn't even keep KP. That is the New York Knicks, okay? Anyone
I
else
can't
have
wait to
something to
draft
say?
Zion and have him play for 2 years with the Knicks and then get traded because because he hates the front office.
Mhm. Yeah. So actually, moving on to the Kyrie part. Does anyone want to explain the Kyrie part?
You know what? I think I'll go for it.
Yeah.
So, October 4th, 2018, in the TD Garden, a crowd of Boston Celtics fans, Kyrie's addressing them. He says, "If you guys will have me back, I plan on re-signing here." Yesterday, when asked about his free agency, Kyrie stated exactly this explicitly. "I don't owe anyone shit.
Kyrie,
Ask
you are
July
full of
1st."
shit.
Definitely the explicit.
That's such a Kyrie thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't know the legitimacy of his feelings, but that switch from October to now, I don't know what happened. I don't know what changed his mind.
It's called the beginning of a season to where you got a fresh new team and you think you're gonna have a great year, to a team where you don't think you're doing as bad as you are and you're tired of them.
The honeymoon
That's what it
period is ending. For the Boston Celtics.
I mean, if I'm Boston, I'm definitely trying to re-sign him.
Yeah, of course.
If I'm Boston, I'm going after every single free agent I could possibly get to keep Kyrie happy.
Is there an
Because
off chance that
You know what they
What?
say?
the
Happy Kyrie,
Celtics
happy life.
trade Kyrie?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
No.
not. Okay.
No,
There's
they're not
no, absolutely no way.
They're
The
in a win.
media-
They're trying to win right now. They're
Mhm.
going for a championship
Yeah,
this
they're
year.
contenders.
Just saying though, the media is honestly trying to push that narrative a little bit. I feel, because there's definitely been a couple headlines I've seen that should the Celtics trade Kyrie because it seems like he might be leaving next season.
There's no way
Don't
that's
believe
gonna
everything
happen.
you see in the media. Believe what is said on the 4-Point-Play podcast.
Of
Okay,
course.
Facts. Factual.
where you should be getting all your NBA information.
What a nice plug, James.
I try.
I mean, even if he does express interest in leaving, there's no way that the Boston Celtics trade him. I think they're gonna let him walk because
I agree.
there's no way you can trade a player like Kyrie Irving, even though that already happened. But there's still no way that you could possibly trade him.
Also, I think the teams, because he's obviously the Knicks aren't going to trade for him and just give up a ton of stuff
Yeah.
when they could get him in the offseason.
Exactly.
And a team that is contending right now would have to give away a bunch of other pieces that are part of their contending team in order to get Kyrie, and they wouldn't want to do that.
That
Yeah,
point is why I think that the Knicks should not go after anyone in the trade deadline. The only thing that they should do during this deadline
Sell Enes
is
Kanter.
sell. That was one of my points. Sell Enes Kanter, get rid of Moutier, get rid of Frank Ntilikina, get rid of all of the loose ends that make this
garbage.
team
Get rid of
Exactly.
everyone other than Kevin Knox.
Basically.
1-on-5, Kevin Knox, Golden State Warriors. I'm taking it.
And don't forget Dennis. Dennis and Kevin Knox. And Mitchell Robinson. And
Mr.
don't
Robinson
forget
could be
Mitchell.
okay. I think people
Lonzo Trier.
slightly overrating him right now, but I think it could be solid.
Slightly overrated?
Yeah. 'Cause
Who? Wait, who?
I think people are
Mitchell
slightly overrating Mitchell Robinson. I think he definitely has potential.
If he can actually develop like an offense, like a post-scoring offense, he'd be really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
his
gonna lie.
defense is what he's relying on. His blocks.
Hmm.
For
He's just pure
rookie.
athleticism.
But I definitely think besides Trier, what do I keep saying Trier? Oh my god.
Trier.
Trier.
Alonso
Trier.
Trier.
So I think besides him, Knox, and Dennis Smith Jr.
A lot of people forget that Mitchell Robinson didn't. He came straight out of high school. Well, not straight out. He took a year off to train
Yeah.
for the draft, but he didn't play any like elite level or organized basketball in that
That's true.
entire year. And he comes back and he leads all rookies in blocks per game with 2.
He is in a
Right.
really good situation to develop his game.
Yeah, he is.
Same with all these other young players. So
Speaking of great young players, D'Angelo Russell replaced Victor Oladipo in the All-Star game.
Well deserved.
Is D'Lo the
Yeah,
real
not bad.
deal? And can D'Lo potentially attract lucrative free agents to Brooklyn because of his All-Star play?
It's not, in my opinion, it's not D'Lo who would be attracting free agents. It's Brooklyn, and it's just an overall young team
Okay.
with
Yeah.
a lot of potential.
Well, D'Angelo Russell specifically is averaging 19.6 points per game, 6.4 assists, and almost 4 rebounds a game.
So much
So-
knowledge.
Yeah,
Career
so
highs.
He's
All career highs,
definitely
by the
been
way.
getting better each year of his career, no doubt. He only averaged 13.2 points per game and 3.3 assists in his first season, so you can already see a big difference in a few years.
I would love to
Um,
see how the Nets run when Karis LeVert comes back.
Oh yeah, that's
Because-
he honestly he
Spencer
could have
didn't
been an
win the
All-Star. He could have been an
He
All-Star
could've.
too. I think.
I think he would have, honestly. I think he would have.
Yeah.
The way he was playing and before that, that injury reminds me of
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I mean, not gonna lie though, if you just check the stats, D'Lo is playing better than what LeVert was in the beginning of the season, but
Well, I think D'Lo's playing a lot better because he's getting the ball a lot more with guys out.
I think
Also, Spencer Dinwiddie's out, so
it's
more
not.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not good that LeVert got hurt, but because
That
That
LeVert
rhymed.
because LeVert got hurt, because he got injured, D'Lo has been able to really quickly develop into the player that everyone thought he was going to be
Mm-hmm.
last year. So obviously it's not good to have one of your best players get injured, but he's coming back. I think he's coming back next month.
Possibly by late March, I think.
Yeah, possibly by late March,
That'd
which
be
would be
good.
really
No,
good.
he's coming back this year, no doubt.
Mhm. If they could
Um,
get the cogs rolling, they get the wheels rolling on this Nets team for playoff time. I think they could be a dark horse.
potentially.
I
Yeah.
agree.
and make some noise.
As much as it pains me to say, as a lifelong Knicks fan, or as a certain someone named Kyle Drucker would like to say, a Knicks fan since sophomore year of high school, the Nets are the 6th seed in the East. They are most likely going to make the playoffs, and they're most likely going to be the 5th because the Pacers are ahead of them, and obviously Victor Oladipo not there anymore. But
Dude, they're about to crash.
they could
and burn.
potentially make it to the second round and have to face off one of the big Eastern teams like the Celtics, the Raptors, or the Bucks. So I'm going to be very intrigued to see that happen. I really want to see how the Nets team goes up against the big Eastern teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Nets are fun to watch.
They are
really
fun to watch.
They are quite
Mhm.
electrifying at times.
Again, as much as it pains me to say that, they are a pretty good team to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys remember, but in 2017, when D'Angelo Russell was traded from the Lakers to the Nets, Magic Johnson said that the Lakers needed a leader. This was presumably directed at D'Angelo Russell. Personally, I feel like, especially this year, being the actual sole leader of this team, he has absolutely stepped up to the plate and proved every single hater wrong. He's going to be an incredible player going forward, and I think that this is a truly great breaking point in his career.
You know what though?
Yeah.
I have sort of a different take on it. I definitely agree that he stepped up to the plate big time, but at that point in 2017 when Magic said that, I think he had every bit of proof and every right to say that comment. I think if D'Lo was still in the Lakers, if Magic never said that comment, if the media never doubted him, I don't think he would have developed this quickly into a leader.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to quickly mention that Nikola Jokic just notched his 9th triple-double of the season with 13 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists, breaking his own record of the ugliest player ever to have that stat line.
Nuggets won again tonight, only by 1, but they won.
Yeah, against the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of somewhere in
Steven.
between both of you. So I think Magic was somewhat wrong about D'Lo being a leader, obviously seeing how well he is panned out to be currently. But they did get the pick, which they got Kyle Kuzma from, and Brook Lopez. And they were able to dump Timothy Mozgov's contract, which opened up the room to sign LeBron in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand that, but I'm really talking about in terms of D'Angelo Russell himself. It opened up a lot of opportunities for the Lakers, but they really would have. I'm not going to say that they would have benefited by keeping him, but I would say they contributed to him being the player that he is right now.
Yeah.
I
think it worked out for both teams.
Yep, and for D'Lo's career projection, it definitely has taken off since he got traded from the Lakers. Speaking about the Lakers, they're currently the 9th seed in the Western Conference.
They lost tonight.
They be concerned? They lost.
All right,
tonight.
I have one word for you, James. Actually, 2 words for you. LeBron James. They are good.
LeBron did not play tonight, so now they're only 1 game over. He played 2 nights ago, and he played 40 minutes.
Went off.
He was like 1 assist shy of a triple double. I think he had like 31, 13, and 9. Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
He didn't play
Load
tonight,
management.
but the Lakers are now 6-12 without him, and then they're 7 games over with him. So it's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's clear when he's the best player. He's the best player in the world. I mean,
but
they're
best player of
fine.
all time, no question.
He'll be back. They'll be fine.
Part of that, I feel like Lonzo, obviously with his injuries, he could have helped tremendously. Rondo recently came back though. He's been doing Rondo type things. Kind of looking like the Rondo from the Celtics back in 2008.
Chill with that.
All right, you know what I'm saying?
Don't ever disrespect playoff Rondo.
I just gave him a compliment. But yeah,
playoff Rondo is
you
actually
disrespected him by respecting him.
Yeah.
A healthy Lonzo is a good Lonzo. That's what I'll say.
Healthy Lonzo. Yeah.
Healthy anybody's usually.
Do you guys think for this Lakers team that obviously Lonzo's a younger player, he's got a lot more potential at this point. Rondo's getting old, but right now, who's like the better fit for the Lakers?
What was the question?
You mean between Rondo and Lonzo?
Rondo and Lonzo, who's just the better fit for the Lakers right now?
Lonzo, absolutely.
Lonzo.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, Lonzo's much younger, more agile.
Well, no.
All-around
I'm not. I know.
players.
I know that Lonzo is obviously younger. He has potential, which Rondo is now past. But honestly, in my opinion, I think Rondo is just a better fit.
Well,
I
they both
agree.
have very similar stats. They're both averaging somewhere around 9 to 10 points a game. Rondo's averaging like 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Lonzo's like 5 rebounds, 5 assists, somewhere there.
Yeah, no, I just think the way that team operates, they just need a point guard who's just facilitating all game, which Lonzo does, but Rondo just does to another level.
I agree with you. I think that the Lakers this past year have switched to such a completely different direction, I feel, as a franchise than they were literally just last year. And
Mhm.
I don't really know if I see Lonzo with these plans, fitting in with these plans. I think he could develop into an all-star caliber player on pretty much
A different team.
on a different
I
team.
agree.
I just think this situation isn't right for him anymore.
Hold that thought, because I'd like to throw in this statistic right here. This is Kyle Kuzma's numbers without Lonzo. 12 points per game, 12 and a half field goal attempts, 38% from the field, 15 from three, 2 boards, 1.5 assists,
Yep.
3 turnovers.
You don't need to
worst-
list every single stat that's like.
Right. Team worst negative 11.3 net rating.
Jesus.
All without Lonzo.
Yeah, Lonzo. People disrespect his game, and people don't realize how much better he makes his teammates.
He absolutely does. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
It's actually super annoying, but
Yeah, it's just the media surrounded by the family that
yep.
discourages people from supporting Lonzo and actually looking at his numbers as opposed to just the name.
Yeah, and I'm just
Yeah,
his numbers. Just pass those numbers. He's such an impactful player.
Yeah, the way he facilitates
The
the
way
game.
he facilitates the offense and his defense is
The dude can
really
clamp.
good too. The Duke of Clamp.
He's got clamps.
The Duke of Clay.
But just
Can we just give LeVar Ball credit for predicting that a year before the lottery
For
even
finally
happened?
shutting his mouth.
Well,
besides
not
that,
only that,
You were saying.
I'm kind of glad that he shut his mouth. But anyway, a year before the lottery even came out for that year, he predicted that Lonzo would go to the Lakers. That's pretty crazy.
Mhm. Yep.
That man literally predicted the lottery.
Yeah.
Well,
What
he was being
happened?
interviewed.
He also said Leandro and LaMelo Lakers.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But-
it's possible LaMelo could be on the Lakers because he's not going to be the top pick.
Yeah.
That's true.
Angelo could sign with him.
He's
but-
ranked 13th right now.
Um,
Why do I know
tonight, James Harden made another case in the MVP race. Personally, I think putting him ahead of everyone else. 43 points, 12 boards, 5 assists, 6
5
steals,
assists.
4 blocks.
Oh, so this is the game that put him above and beyond.
Boo.
This is the one.
I feel like-
Not his 50-point performances in back-to-back games.
All right.
I think
Yes and no, but I feel like this game with the 6 steals and 4 blocks, I feel like he put himself in first place for me personally.
Was he not in first
You
before?
don't think? Yeah.
Absolutely not. It was Giannis.
Really?
So
you
one
think
good
just this
defense-
one game
one
is
good
put him over the
defensive
top?
game is what.
so.
Well,
Are
it's the
you
past
So what
three
if
games,
Giannis
really.
has a 45-point night with?
Well, that's expected of Giannis.
It's not expected of Harden. Harden's
That's
the
what,
number
that's what
one.
makes
It-
that's
no.
what makes Giannis so good. He's like that's just what he does.
Exactly.
I mean, That's what
Okay,
Harden
good.
did.
But
He's
I
the
mean,
best scorer in the league.
Harden's my MVP because he's just
Yeah.
been completely dominant all year.
Yeah.
So
Well-
so you guys are in agreement that the Harden's the MVP.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
my MVP is number 14 on the Knicks, but your guys' MVP.
My
It's
MVP.
My
is
MVP?
my MVP is number 6 on the Knicks as of today.
DeAndre Jordan.
I would just like to say to all the real NBA fans who are watching this podcast that I
Well, 5
do
of you.
not think that James Harden is the MVP.
You have as Giannis?
I think
Can we,
I don't think it's
James
Giannis.
off the podcast,
Okay,
or no?
I think it's Giannis. But I think that Anthony Davis and Steph Curry are not getting nearly enough recognition for what
Steph
they're
Curry?
Steph Curry is shooting
No, I see where
55,
you're coming
45,
I see-
90,
I see where
averaging
you're coming
30
from.
points a game. Do not disrespect.
Steph is I'm not gonna say
You want me to
underrated, but
pull up
what he
Harden
does-
shooting numbers?
What he does for the Warriors is nothing compared to what other people do for their teams.
That is not
The
true.
difference that he makes.
The
for
Warriors
them-
aren't the Warriors without Curry.
I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
There's a stat getting thrown around when Curry was hurt that the Warriors have a worse record without him than the Rockets do without Harden.
I could actually believe that.
And
Yeah, that's believable.
and the difference between the record that the Warriors have with Curry and without is a ridiculously bigger differential than any other star player in the league. So I just think that the whole Warriors fatigue, or the fatigue that everyone has with seeing the Warriors, they're just completely disrespecting Curry season.
I mean, look at Draymond. Draymond has been going off just tonight. 4 points, 0% from three, 5 fouls, 2 turnovers. He's been going off.
He has been good this season though.
Draymond?
Draymond's been terrible.
Draymond's been terrible this season.
Draymond Green. Wait, Draymond Green on the Warriors?
Yes.
No, the
Any
Draymond
Green, Gerald Green, Danny Green, Jamichael Green, they're all garbage.
Draymond Green is having a terrible season.
No, I got to give it to Steven.
The guy's
22%
averaging
from the 3-point line.
7 with like.
I mean,
Dude,
Other-
69
other than-
from the free
other-
throw line.
other
He's
than, like-
been going off.
He's not even playing
other
good
than
D.
shooting, if Draymond Green didn't shoot, he'd be really good, but he shoots.
Yeah.
Because
And
he's
he
always
leads.
open. Because
He's
because
still
the
a great
opponents.
defensive player, and he's a great rebounder, and he makes things happen with everything other than his shot.
I agree, but he's having an off.
But he shoots a lot.
And I also think
Yeah,
he's having an
but
off
he's
year, which
not
is
having an off
his
season.
skill set
I mean,
too.
he's not doing as well as he was in the past, but he's still having a good season.
He's still valuable to the team, but he's just an offensive liability.
I think also if you're watching the game, he's not playing nearly as good D as he has been the past few seasons, but
Still an above average defender.
I definitely am not trying to discredit his other seasons, because his other seasons were really good,
Yeah.
and his efficiency ratings and all of those dynamic stats, he's been near the top of the league for the last couple of years. But this year he's not, because he's trash. So yeah.
Draymond, if you're listening to this, don't worry, I'm still on your side. I still think you're doing well this year.
If Draymond listens to this podcast, I'm done doing this podcast.
Yep.
I'm not even lying.
There are 5 people with the last name Green. No,
Did I name 4 of
who
them?
play in the NBA.
Draymond.
And the least amount of points per game.
Really?
Yeah.
What about-
Wait, he's
what
less
about
than
rebounds and
Jamichael
assists?
Green?
Jamichael Green averages 10. Jeff Green is averaging 12. Gerald Green is averaging 9. And Danny Green is averaging 10. And then there's Draymond at 7.
What about rebounds and assists and steals and?
I'm not talking about those. I'm
But I
just
mean,
trying
it's
to.
not
I'm just
just
trying to
points
show
that
that
makes the
Draymond
player
is
good.
an offensive liability.
So even on the green team, he's an offensive liability.
Like, do you see how much teams
He's-
disrespect him when he's
still
out on the
shooting
3-point line?
41% from the field.
Like, teams literally start. Like, he's at the 3-point,
Yeah.
he gets the ball, and teams back off and turn around waiting for the rebound before
Well,
he
Joel
shoots the
Embiid's a
ball.
pretty good 3-point shooter. They did the same to him and a bunch of other big men who aren't
Okay,
good.
but Joel
I mean,
Embiid
obviously
can
they're not
actually
going to be shooting 3-pointers.
Joel
Steve's
Embiid
getting
can
heated
actually
right now.
shoot.
I mean, if DeAndre Jordan's lining up from 3, I don't think you're going to have like everybody swarming him.
Okay, but DeAndre Jordan doesn't think he can shoot. Draymond Green can't. Draymond Green thinks he can shoot, but he can't.
He's still shooting like 41% from the field though.
He's shooting 20% from 3. What are you on?
I said from the field. I said from the field.
Because he takes what? He's a 6'9" power forward. He takes layups. What are you talking about?
He makes his layups. That's important.
41% is what people like Harden shoot because all he does is shoot threes.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Harden's percentages are terrible,
No, Harden's
which means that he does
efficiency
not
is fine
deserve
because he shoots threes instead of twos.
the NBA MVP.
It's different when you make your threes. Like, it's different.
But which he doesn't make either.
Wait,
Just
when
saying.
you guys were talking about Antetokounmpo for the MVP race, we were talking
Right.
about
I love MVP Rice.
we were talking about Giannis,
Little
not
Tokios.
Kostas, right?
MVP Rice. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyways,
All right. Well, that just completely ruined my joke. But okay.
sorry.
Oh, that was a joke.
Oh my.
How do I leave
God.
this chat?
You
I'm
can
sorry,
drag
Matt,
your
you were
name
saying-
off to
You're the moderator,
to the,
you
to the
can't.
chat that we're supposed to be in.
I'm not the moderator. I'm the host. There's a difference.
No, you're the moderator. The host makes you sound really.
Alex speaks
Yeah.
in host.
It makes you sound superior to the rest of us.
I'm the
Because I
moderator
am.
of the Discord server though, so I can move you out if you want me to.
So, anyways, what was your joke?
You
No,
know,
it's in the past.
it's
not
not
even funny
important
now.
We'll go back to the Draymond debate.
I remember I got in a couple years ago with somebody over whether or not Draymond Green was top 15 player in the NBA. I was saying no because,
That's
and they were really debating that he was a top 15 player, And like a couple years ago, I would say he was top 25, but I don't think he ever cracked the top 15. And now he's lucky to crack the top 40.
He's probably top 15 worst NBA players.
All right.
If I were to be honest.
So 4-Point-Play lost all of its credibility with that one sentence.
He's probably
We'll see
top
you in a couple
15
days.
worst human beings I've ever seen, too.
Oh, that's also
okay.
true.
I absolutely hate him.
I don't like him as a person.
He's just a
Right
terrible
up there.
person.
I don't
Did
like
you
him as
see?
anyone.
Tom Brady and Satan.
Did you see him make
Yeah.
fun of
Rudy
Gobert?
Gobert. Yeah.
He's crying.
For getting emotional
I don't
about
like him
his
as a person.
mom calling him the night he didn't make the All-Star team and crying? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
That was kind of messed up.
I don't like Draymond as a person, but as a player, I mean,
I hate him even more.
All right, I appreciate how hard Draymond plays and the fire he brings.
Yeah.
But he's dirty. He's dirty, and I hate dirty
He's
players.
dirty and he's not.
he
nice
is a
off
bit
the
of a
court
dirty
either.
player. I admire the heart that he has and the effort he plays with. I'm not a fan of the leg he
You
uses.
guys know he played college football too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
MSU.
He was a tight end. Yeah, he's a tight end, and he like there's videos of him just dropping wide open passes.
Oh, that makes sense now because he
Yeah.
clearly has CT. So
CTE.
CTE. That's what I meant.
Yeah, okay.
Shit.
Nonetheless, Draymond Green, for all the listeners, don't worry, still doing well this year.
Draymond, we hate you, and we're not sugarcoating it.
Oh god, he put us on blast. Actually,
That
no,
was what?
he's too busy.
You can't. I'm trying to think of like a comparison between two players, like with Draymond, but there's really no one.
I'm gonna
Soccer
compare him.
players and Draymond, we both kick balls. Good one, right?
I'm gonna.
Good
Uh,
one.
The closest comparison I can give to him for how he should act but how he doesn't is Patrick Beverley. Because Patrick Beverley is a POS on the court, just like Draymond Green, but you cannot tell me that you have heard a single thing that he's done off the court that's been controversial.
They do play with a lot of heart, and they play
Because
aggressively.
Patrick Beverley's an actual professional who leaves it on the court and knows what to say.
But Draymond is better. So
Okay, buddy, let's not
two
let's
positions.
not get ahead of ourselves here.
Maybe not even this year.
Can anyone guess who averages the least amount of points per game in the NBA?
Okay, it's obviously gonna be someone who like played like one game and
No.
Wait,
Zhu Kui on the Rockets.
No.
can we wait? Is this like a minimum minutes per game?
Yeah.
Patrick
Wow,
McCaw.
what's the minutes?
It's the 7 minutes.
They average 7 minutes. So obviously they average like 0.02 points.
Patrick McCaw.
Yeah.
No. All right, get ready for this. Yuta Watanabe for the Memphis Grizzlies.
yeah, the guy.
Who is that
Very
guy?
handsome man. Yuta
Is
Watanabe.
he Asian?
Or as
is that
Chaz
just his
said,
name?
you don't want to be in the NBA.
You don't want.
Well, I mean,
That was
he,
good.
He's a rookie, right? So
Yeah.
first year. So cut the man some slack, I guess.
Yeah, no,
No,
he
no,
barely.
you just need to cut
He
my
doesn't
man.
play much.
You don't need to cut the man any slack. Just cut the man and move on. Okay,
There is something to be said for that.
that's the only cutting you should do.
That was a bit uncalled for, James.
Or cutting to the paint.
I'm watching the Kevin Durant highlights right now from the game, and just like I've never watched a player, and like
I'm just Knicks written all over. What you were
I'm just
saying?
like glued to the screen. Like Kevin Durant is an amazing player. I honestly think that him and LeBron
Expert
are
analysis.
Expert analysis. Katie's the top
him
two
and
player in the
LeBron
league.
world of their own. And honestly, for a short period of time, when Kevin Durant hit that shot over to LeBron in the finals, I thought that this man is the best basketball player in the world.
I thought that. Oh, you were an
Sound like
idiot.
every media writer that wants clout.
It's true though.
LeBron
it could
is
be
the best
true.
player in the world, and it's not even close.
That's
Yeah,
also
I don't know.
true.
I'm a LeBron supporter. I mean, but I'm just saying for that short period of time, I legitimately thought that it was Kevin Durant.
I could respect
That's fair
that.
enough. That's fair enough.
But now, I'd probably say LeBron though.
Mhm.
Yeah. That came out a little differently than I thought it would. But yeah, LeBron is best of all time. Yeah, LeBron is
I
best of all time,
I agree.
no question.
All right, a great way to end off the second episode.
Yes.
Would like to for the probably one person that has finished the entire podcast, I would like to thank them for listening.
And for the other 3
Thank-
people who just watched the first 2 minutes and skipped to the end, thank you too.
Yeah, thank you
We
everyone
still appreciate
again.
you.
Subscribe to our YouTube, follow our Twitter, and have a great night, people.